on. Wow. Oh my God. Oh.
Pipeline is basically like Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my God.
So scary, so shallow, so gnarly, but so beautiful all at the same time.
I think it's probably the most interesting wave in the world when you think about all the different aspects of it. It's beautiful, it's terrifying, it's mesmerizing, probably the most talented, most aggressive pack of surfers anywhere in the world.
It's a place that I got some of the best rides of my life. I live there. It's probably the only wave I surf on a day-to-day basis.
Pipeline's not even a double black diamond. I would say it's a triple black diamond. It is absolutely experts only. So if you can go out and get a set wave at Pipe, you've earned it. If you're looking out at the break, from right to left, you've got the Heilei channel, which is really responsible for the pipe wave. And then as you move a little bit more, that's pipeline left, the pipeline.
The perfect pipeline is first reef, loading up, jacking up, and just standing really tall and mean with a big square lip. And as that lip's landing, the spit absolutely explodes you into the channel.
Move over a little bit more, and then that's where Backdoor is. Backdoor and Pipe they're basically the same way, but Backdoor is the right and Pipeline is the left.
Backdoor is an incredible wave. You can get a barrel from 2 seconds to 10 seconds long. This wave is incredible and it's very unpredictable.
Move offshore just a little bit. Beyond first reef, you get second reef pipeline. And that second reef pipe starts to work just when it gets bigger.
When pipeline's second reefing, that means it's overloading on the reef and it's too big for first reef, so it starts to push a little further out. These waves stand bigger than 12-foot Hawaiian and they stand up on the reef taller and gnarlier. Some of the heaviest photos and videos I've ever seen at Pipeline have been on second reef roll-ins. And we have third reef pipeline. That is when it is too big for first reef, too big for second reef. It starts to move out onto the third reef. These are very, very rare waves to catch. And when you catch one and you ride it all the way through to pipeline and actually get shacked on it, it is a dream come true because these are kind of the diamonds in the rough at Pipeline is the third reef, second reef to first reef, load up, big barrel, big spit.
Pipeline in the summer is a wonderful place to dive, or fish, or swim, or do anything besides surfing. As we move deeper into the fall and the winter months, that's when all the magic happens. Almost always it's good in January, but really anywhere from November through February is pretty good at Pipe. So there's an old saying, if there's snow in Japan, about 5 days later, the surf's gonna be pumping at Pipe. It's not quite as simple as that, but there are some things that we obviously look for to create great pipe swells. And one of them is those storms that are just lower in latitude, and they tend to be coming off Japan.
When I'm tracking a swell at Pipeline, some of the things I'm looking for is big, massive west swells starting to build off of Japan. It's nice and far away from Hawaii, so we get a real beautiful ground swell, which to me is some of the best pipeline you could ever get.
The typical journey for a pipeline swell, you're gonna see the storm slide off Japan, bringing a lot of cold air from Siberia and off Japan, and then moving over relatively warm water. That clash of cold air and warmer water really helps supercharge the storm. You want it to move towards Oahu and towards Hawaii because when they're a little lower in latitude, that means the resulting swell direction is more west, which is great for pipe. As the storm continues to track east, the swell being generated along the way is gradually going to shift more northerly. Anything from about 295 degrees to about 38 to 40 degrees is going to be able to get to the North Shore. For pipeline in particular, you want to see more westerly swells. So you want them just kind of clearing that shadow of Kauai, really anywhere from about 295 to about 330 degrees. The best pipe swells that I've seen tend to be around 310 to 315 degrees. And then as you move north of 330 degrees, that's when it's really mostly backdoor, especially in combination if the swell period's starting to come down.
The swell direction I look for during a perfect swell at Pipeline is about 315 degrees. It's straight in northwest. What it allows for is a swell to come in straight on the reef, so there's rights and lefts all at the same time. To me, it's really important because it brings up like the amount of waves that are being ridden in one day. You know, there's a lot of guys that want to go right at Backdoor, and there's a lot of guys that just only want to go pipe. There's just a lot more ways to be ridden out there, and everybody honestly gets along way better when there's rights and lefts.
The dream swell direction and kind of magic numbers for pipe. If buoy 1 is like 8 to 9 feet, 8 to 10 feet, about 16 to 17 seconds. It'll be from the west-northwest, like, 300 to 310, give or take a little bit. That's gonna be pretty special. When you go really long period, like especially above 18 seconds, that's like on the front end of swells, it can be good, and there can be some crazy ones, but it also is really gnarly, and it's not perfect, and it's just kind of sketchy. So 15 to 17 seconds that's like the best pipe that I've ever seen. As these swells approach the North Shore, there's no continental shelf. So these open ocean swells march almost all the way in with their speed intact, with their power intact. And that's what gives Hawaii and the North Shore such a powerful feel to the surf. Really the first thing they encounter and the first thing they're gonna feel is relatively shallow water out by outer log cabins. When waves are approaching from the west-northwest or northwest, they're gonna hit that relatively shallow water, bend in, and that refraction focuses it right at Pipeline. One of the reasons it has good shape is because there's the shallow water of the Pipeline Reef, and then almost directly next to that is the relatively deep water of the Eehkai Channel. And that was just carved out over millions of years of fresh water flushing down out of the hills just right there at Pipeline. And so you've got a wave that will break and then move into that deeper water and start to back off. So that allows that exit and really kind of the perfect shape of the Pipeline wave.
I think one of the most scary things about Pipeline is the reef. The reef is really flat and really hard. You got all these like crazy lava tubes that go through the reef. It's kind of like looking at the concrete, but there's all these different holes and like little caves and like tooth corals. So like it all depends how you hit the reef. Sometimes you'll end up with a heavy bruise. Sometimes you'll have like all kind of scratches and scars all over you.
And it's really shallow too. Even on the bigger first reef days, it can be remarkably shallow at times. So if you crash, if you don't make a takeoff, you crash, you get in the barrel, whatever, odds are you're gonna hit it.
When I was 13 years old, I took off on this wave at Backdoor and actually had to jump out of the lip. It was really late. The lip landed on top of my head, drove me straight down to the bottom of the reef, and my leg went in a cave. And then as the wave started rolling over, my leg was stuck in the cave and snapped. It was like literally right when I thought I started to figure out Pipeline, I just broke my leg and I was like, oh my gosh, this wave is like real deal.
You see a number of injuries every year. You unfortunately see some deaths. It's part of surfing Pipeline, but it's a really scary part of surfing Pipeline. One of the first things you need, and this sounds a little bit screwy because Pipeline is a reef, but you have to have a clean reef, meaning you can't have sand on that reef.
In the summertime, we have this huge berm of sand. It looks like a football field of sand, and the result is a lot of backwash and a lot of uneven, like sketchy, gnarly waves because there's just so much sand there. There's nowhere for the water to go.
Ideally, you get those early season swells that are coming out of the west to northwest. They're gonna push all that sand up to the east, up toward Rocky Point. That'll clear out the Eehkai Channel, it'll clear out the sand on the beach. So you just have more of a clean breaking wave, less backwash, better surf overall when you've got a clean reef.
So Pipeline goes from like one of the weirdest, wonkiest, sketchy waves on Earth to like one of the most perfect, pristine waves on Earth. It takes about 3 hours for that sand to move on a big swell. That's when Pipeline starts to turn into Pipeline.
The prevailing winds for the Hawaiian Islands are east-northeasterly trades. which is great for the North Shore because that's offshore or side offshore. For pipe specifically, you do want the direction to be really pretty east and ideally even east-southeast, and you want it to be a little bit lighter.
To me, when you get some nice easterly winds on the wave at pipeline, it blows right into the barrel. It really grooms out the lineup, and you can honestly trust pulling into a lot of the barrels. So if I see something on the forecast that's saying east at 10 to 15 miles an hour is absolutely incredible for the pipeline lineup. It's just that perfect wind that goes straight into the barrel.
Bryant.
If you get a really good wave at pipe, like everybody sees it.
Nathan.
It's like this gladiator pit, you know? You can be on the beach, you can hear it crack, and you can hear people in the lineup yelling at each other and really have this incredible view of what the wave is like and how steep and critical and how late those drops are.
Dropping into a wave at pipeline is, I guess the best way you could kind of explain it is you end up with this like very like heavy moment of free fall. And then as the board catches, connects on the wave, you have to pull really hard on your rail because you don't want the lip to like hit you in the head, but you don't want to turn too early because you don't want to get sucked back over the falls. So as you're doing that, you're setting your line, you're stalling, you're pumping, you're trying to figure out like, is this wave going to close out? Should I take the high line? Should I take the low line? Like where should I go? Because once it spits, you can't see anything. You just hope and you come out and you're like, oh my gosh, I made it. Sometimes, man, just pipeline just takes over your mind. It's so wild, it's so violent, and just so beautiful all at the same time.
I can't emphasize enough how scary it is and how intimidating it can be, where you can have the most perfect waves ever. You also get these just mutant, crazy things that you want no part of. Just beyond the wave itself is all the interesting things that go on with the lineup dynamics.
Right, James? It's not an easy task to get really good waves at pipeline because at all times, there's gonna be an elite 10 guys out there that are hungry for the 8 to 10 footers. The guys that I'm surfing the peak with at pipeline have been surfing out there for 15 plus years on every single swell. We understand every element of what's happening. We understand where all the good waves are.
You could have great success anywhere else in the world, but the question would always be like, yeah, but can you go to pipeline and make a name for yourself there? So if you can go out and get a set wave at pipe, you've earned it. As scary as the left is, I think the right's scarier, actually. You know, it's kind of like car crash, knife fight. Pick your poison.
Drops are always really late at Backdoor. It's very violent. There's multiple different sections that like keep throwing at you. That's why Backdoor, you'll end up sometimes getting, an 8 to 12 second barrel is because the reef is a lot longer. The reef's a lot shallower. Backdoor is like the wave where you gotta hurry up and just get out of this barrel. If you make a mistake, you usually hit the reef. I would say 99.9% of the time. You'll end up with a lot of doggy doors, but you gotta pick and choose your battles on the doggy doors because some of those doggy doors will just send you straight into the reef or, just break your board and everything about you. It's a dangerous wave.
Oh! Go! Go! Oh my God!
I got that! Psycho! I got that!
Pipe is just so tied into the history of surfing. There have been countless world titles that have been decided there. Whether official world titles or people crowned kind of as the next big thing.
Pipeline for the fucking girls.
As we see Pickles. Molly putting her head down, grabs the rail, and Pipeline pulls up and under. She's still going and gets the exit.
It's the ultimate proving ground. Not only the wave, just in how challenging it is, how big it is, but then also navigating that crowd and earning the respect of those in the crowd as well.
To me, it's one of the most special places that I've ever spent time in, because I'm there with all my favorite surfers. I'm there with, people that I've been looking up to my whole life. I'm there with the next generation. At the end of the day, just sharing the lineup with such a special group of people at Pipeline is the best feeling in the world, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
It's as dangerous as it gets. It's as beautiful as it gets. Beyond maybe being the most interesting wave in the world, it's arguably the most important wave in the world as well.
It's a wave that means so much to me. I live there. It's a place that I made all my friends. It's a place that changed my life forever. It means so much to me. I don't really know. You can't really put it in words, but Pipeline is my home and where I'm most happy.